Who's the captain back there? I mean, who kind of, they always say quarterback of the secondary. I mean, you got a guy like that, or is it more of a group effort?
Well, no, it's a little bit of a group effort. All four of those guys right now are, they're not shy kids. You know what I mean? They're not quiet guys. They're not that type of person. All four of them are more than willing to open their mouth and take control of things. They have a lot of experience. So, in terms of a captain of it, I'm not really sure one guy stands out more than the other. All four of those guys are really doing a good job taking ownership in it and leading and providing that type of energy and leadership.
Greg seemed to finish so strong last year. Has he picked up where he left off pretty much? I mean, obviously you weren't here, but do you have any idea?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen from Greg is that he is into being the best corner he can be. He's working hard every day. He's playing at a pretty high level right now, and he has a good skill set to begin with. So there's no reason with if he continues to improve and progress that he shouldn't be a very solid corner.
What's his best attribute?
He can run and change direction. So right away he's a pretty good cover guy. You can feel pretty good about Greg, and he's not a small guy, so he can match up to most people in a man coverage situation.
Clint, with your experience here as a player and as a coach over the years, now with practice just getting underway, can you discuss in sort of a big picture sense the opportunity that's out here to get this thing turned around and what that means to you personally?
Well, obviously, you ask what it means to me personally. I've invested a large part of my life into this program. I was kind of looking through the media guide today. I think it's something like 17 of the last 19 years I've either been a player or a coach in this program, and can't believe I'm that old right now. But I've had a major investment in this thing, and so personally, to get this thing back to where we all know it should be as Kansas fans and Kansas people, we have an elite university, we have great facilities, we have everything in place that we need, and we need to get this thing where it should be. And that's what we'll work to do, and that's what we're working to do. Coach Weiss coming in here has created a culture already that of expectations and demands, and the bar is set high. And our kids understand that the bar is set high, and that it's time to go.
Coach Campo talked the other day about, we was asked about scheme and what kind of scheme he was going to run. And he said a lot of that had to do with the personnel that he had and what they can do. I mean, what can your guys do well, and what can they not do well?
We're a pretty versatile group back there. Our corners are truly good-sized corners who can be, and they're not soft. They're just called as is. There's some corners out there who just don't want to touch people, and we're fortunate that we've kind of gotten that out of our guys, and they don't approach it that way. So we easily, both those guys at corner have the ability to play man or zone very well. They really are very solid all-around football players. They have good instincts, good control of their body, and are willing to tackle people. So we can go zone or man there. Bradley McDougall's a very athletic safety. In reality, if Bradley would continue to develop, has a chance to be a very good player for us, as well as Lubbock Smith being one of those guys that just gets it. And so out of those four guys, we have a good bunch there. Now we just got to plug those two in and get a solid 8 or 9 guys in there that can really go. But what they do best is I think all four of them are good football players. They understand the game. It's not, there's some kids that have great athletic ability that the game's hard for them. We have 4 guys that have good athletic ability that are football players.
Clint, you've got Greg Brown and you've got Patman up there. What about the guys backing them up, and maybe what do you think of Nas Moore coming in? What's he been like?
All the young corners right now are very talented kids, and Nasir Moore's doing a good job coming in. Limited corner experience, even though he's a junior college guy. Tyree Williams doing very good, and Greg Allen very talented. All 3 of them look the part. They just got to be able to get in there, keep getting the reps, which we're giving to them, and they're getting plenty of work at it, and just continue to develop. I think all 3 of them have very high upside.
Clint, you mentioned that Coach Weiss establishing a culture of expectations. How about Coach Campo? What's it like coaching and working under him, and what have you seen that you maybe haven't seen before?
Well, the first thing, and we have a lot of Texas kids on our team, so when Coach Campo steps at the front of the room, those guys know what he's accomplished in his career. They know who he is and where he's been and the people he's coached and what he's done. I mean, the guy can pop out 3 Super Bowls in front of you, 3 Super Bowl rings. You have to be kind of a fool not to appreciate what the man's accomplished in his coaching career, and the kids get that. And Coach Campo's been around long enough and has the way to talk to the kids that, if he says something, their ears perk up and they listen. They go, you know, this guy's said these exact things in preparing for Super Bowls. You know, I mean, I think they understand they should listen to that guy. So he brings a presence to the defensive room that's you know, it's hard to match.
Coach White said the other day about Tevin Shaw having a choice, basically, where he wanted to start, running back or safety. And obviously, he picked safety. What do you make of him? I mean, is that a good choice for him? Does he seem like a guy that could be that for 4 years here?
Yeah, you know, I don't know how good a running back he would have been.
Yeah.
Maybe been even better there, but he is a good safety. Tevin, very good signee for us. I mean, here's a kid who comes in already physically developed. I mean, looks good. He's got, you know, muscle. He's ready physically. He's a smart kid. He pays attention. He has good instincts. You know, there's no reason he shouldn't be you know, have a lot of success at safety.
Too early to think he could push?
No, not too early to think he could push. He's got some talent.
Kind of a three-part question here. Who's your fastest guy back there? Who's your smartest guy back there? And who's got the best instincts?
Well, boy, that creates some arguments when this come out. Every one of them.
I'll ask them too, so.
They would fight that they are all of that. I would, if you're asking me, and I'm not even positive, I would pick Greg Brown in a foot race. You know, if you did the old line them up in the street and say go, I'd take Greg Brown. If we had to go on Jeopardy to win $1 million, I'd take Tyler Patman. Those other guys are going to kill me. And then what was your last one?
Who's got the best instincts?
Oh, best instincts. Oh boy, probably Bradley. Bradley's a pretty natural guy.
Covered him. Gotten into the special teams much yet?
Very much so. We you know, very first thing we did was jump into special teams. You know, Coach Weiss has put a tremendous emphasis on all the units, and our very first meeting in this camp was a special teams meeting, and so we've dove into it. Coach Weiss has committed a lot of time and resources turned to coaches to make sure the special teams made a huge emphasis with the team of how important they are, and you know, it's a way to get an advantage in a football game is to be solid and good on special teams.
What's the general philosophy? Have you established? I mean, are you willing to play, you know, first string guys if you have to, or are you looking for separate units there? Or?
No, we're all hands on board. So the guys we need to play to get the job done are going to be the guys that do it.
Okay, and then coaches talked about, you know, if Ron is the one-man band, I think you call him, if he has to handle all the duties, he's good with that as long as he gets the rest. Same philosophy for you with the kicking game? I mean, can one guy handle it all?
Yeah, you know, when I was a player here, we had Dan Eichhoff for 4 years, you know, and he kicked it off, he kicked field goals, and he punted for 4 years, you know. Is it the perfect world? Probably, you know, not. But you know, there are kids who can do it, and you know, we're fortunate to have one of those guys. You know, we've brought in some guys who are, you know, providing some competition with him and being solid there, but you know, we're just kind of fortunate that Doherty's able to do that.